Hello and thank you for joining us for another of our dance physio videos. We're now reaching the end of our A to Z series and we're at the letter V, and today I'm going to talk about a muscle called the VMO, or the vastus medialis oblique. The VMO is one of our quadriceps muscles which sits on the front of the thigh. Its primary role is in the extension or the straightening of the knee joint, but because of where it sits quite close to the kneecap or the patella, it also has an important stabilising role, keeping that in the right position as the knee moves through flexion and extension. It's therefore very commonly implicated with any kind of knee injury or knee pain. The VMO is one of the first muscles to start to weaken and waste when we have knee pain or knee injury, so it's really important to know how to strengthen it, and this can be done really quite easily. I'm going to show you a couple of different exercises you can try to activate those muscles just on the inside of the kneecap. The first one starting in a long sitting position with our legs out in front of us. We have revised this exercise previously when we've talked about knees, but it's important to go through it again just to make sure you have the technique correctly. With our legs out in front of us, turn your legs into a first position. So instead of our toes pointing up at 12 o'clock, they point out at 10 to 2 on the clock. We're only going to lift one leg at a time. Don't try and lift both, as that does put more of a strain on the back. And as I say, this exercise can be done in sitting, reclined sitting, or indeed a laying position. You're going to tighten the muscles in the kneecap on one side, so draw the kneecap up towards you. Take the leg into a tense position and lift just a couple of inches off the floor. And try and hold that position for maybe 5 to 10 seconds before lowering down. And then you can either repeat with the same leg or tense the other side and repeat on that side. Keeping that turnout position from the hip, which really activates the muscle against gravity. After a few repetitions, you'll find the leg does get a little bit shaky as the muscle becomes tired, and that's the point to stop. The next exercise I'm going to show you is a seated wall slide. Now this can be done in a variety of ways. If you have a gym ball at home, you can put this behind your back that will enable you to roll up and down the wall. And if you have a football or something you can put between your knees to add a knee squeeze, that will also activate your adductor muscles on the inside of the thigh, which can help with the efficiency of the VMO contraction. Basically, you want to lean against the wall, make sure that your feet are hip width apart and far enough away from the wall that when you squat down, you're not too bent over the front of your foot. I'll show you in a second, but basically as you get to the depth of the squat, your knee wants to be behind your heel. So you're in a semi-squat position as if you're perching on a stool, and you can just hold this position. If you have the ball between your knees and you squeeze, you will feel the inner thigh contracting, and just try and hold this position for maybe 20 or 30 seconds at a time. And you can then roll up if you're on the ball and slide back down as many times as you like. So from a side view, as I drop into the wall squat, you'll see that my knee is aligned over my heel. If I have my feet too close to the wall, the angle of the knee is increased, and this can put pressure around the front of the kneecap. Always make sure that your feet are far enough away when you start to avoid that happening. The final exercise I'm going to show you today is one that will be familiar to most of you, and that is a plie squat. So we're going to come into a small second position with our feet probably only about 50% turnout. We're not aiming to go flat turned out for this exercise. You can use the bar or a chair to hold on to, or you can just do as a freestanding squat, however you prefer. We're going to just drop into probably just a demi-plie squat with our knees aligned over our feet, using our turnout muscles that we've been working on since the letter T, and recover. And then squat down. Be aware of those muscles on the inside of the thigh, but also turning out into the hip, and recover. And again, and just repeat this a few times, and you'll soon start to feel the thigh working nicely. I hope that's given you a couple of ideas of how to activate your VMO and give you the confidence to have a try yourself at home. Obviously, if you do have any persistent knee pain or any problems with the joint, do seek the advice of a qualified physio, as you may need some treatment to help settle that down. If you want to get in touch with us, our contact details can be found on our website at peakphysiotherapy.com. I'm Sarah from Peak Physiotherapy, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow.